Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing, won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless. They don't wanna see me care. Anytime I make some progress, I can see that they compare. I think everyone's against me, maybe something in the air. Am I paranoid? I swear a void is forming and they're scared. I walk a straight path, not many can say that. I like to play fast, cross me and there's payback. You better pray that I don't see your face at any place that I go. I know you hate that. I've been doing fine, I'm not wasting any more time. I live for the fight and the climb, and I think that the pain that's deep inside is what defines. So I won't give up, I'm gonna make it to the top. I don't care what's in my way, I swear I'm never gonna stop. I could fall flat on my face and I swear I will get back up, cause I don't deserve a thing and the road ahead is tough. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing, won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless.
It is going to be exactly what I think. Hi folks, Boris Johnson here. I am thrilled to be asked to contribute a column to the Daily Mail. It is going to be completely unexpurgated stuff. I may even have to cover politics, but I'll obviously try to do that as little as possible, unless I absolutely have to. I'm much looking forward to making my first contribution to those illustrious pages on Saturday. Join me in the Daily Mail on Saturday.
Indeed, this is indeed a dark, dark day for democracy. And I'm primarily thinking of myself and my party here when I say that, Johnson is to blame for much of this and takes the heat off our previous health secretary and even me when I was health secretary. But I'm First Minister now and party leader and currently Treasurer. But yes, I think it's important that we think and consider that Johnson was indeed a bad man and done wrong. I'm calling upon everyone, every Conservative MP in Westminster to punish him thoroughly. should this report ever come to the Commons. Johnson must be held to account for this. It's nothing to do with any devolved governments. I'm great.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Sunday night. It's Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, even the ones that don't know their fathers. It's John and Ben. It's all out.
Welcome to my party, we're just getting started. A life is a dream or a nightmare scarring. Hand me a drink cause I think I'm going all in. Get me a shrink who can catch me when I'm falling. Cover up my scars, flip the handlebars. Crashing in my car, wake up in a bar. I'll be a superstar, just on my avatar. This world is so bizarre, empty out the reservoir. Yeah, I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? Sometimes you need to let loose, grab juice, get goose, tattoos, taboos, get screwed. Loosen up, buttercup, all those hate comments will never make you feel enough. We're all adequate graduates, hearts full of calluses, but we know calculus. Damn, ain't that fabulous? Can't wait to apply all those mathematicus. But we can't get a job that pays us enough. I'm about to pop off. Fuck you, you're lost. We all know that we never really want a boss. So I'ma do what I want to, something I can't undo. Yeah, I'ma do what I want to, something I can't undo. I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me?
Hello. Indeed. Well. Yeah, but I started with technical hitch. I thought I'd get it over with quickly. Yeah, I think so. Well, hold on. Talk to me. Whoa, why they're not picking? They're not picking you up. Why not though? Oh, you fucking fucker. Just a minute. Can you hear us now? Can't hear Ben. Yeah, I can't hear Ben. Well, I can hear you on Ring Central, but I can't hear. No, I don't think you are. You can hear me. What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, me too. Me too. I mean, two secs. Let me try again. Nope. Right. Okay. I'm gonna bin this and re-add you and see what happens. Oh, you're just right. Bear with us, people. It's fucking Sunday. It wouldn't be the same. He's not muted. He's not showing. Talk to me again, Ben. Yeah, you're coming through fine on the road, but it's not picking you up on what's it called? This shitty OBS thing. Whoa! Oh, hold on. Right. Fuck. OBS is dropping frames a minute. Oh, Jesus Christ. Here we go. Right, people, bear with us. As you know, it wouldn't be Chasing Descent if we weren't having technical issues. You might lose us for a second. Back. Come on. Yes, we should be back. Is the stream back? Right, good. Right. Stream's back, you're back. Now let's deal with Ben. Let's see what the problem is here. Yeah, hold up flashcards. Try that.
Try what? Did that work?
Can you guys hear him?
Can you hear me?
Right.
I'm seeing yay in the
Yeah, no. I'm hearing you with an echo. Are
Right.
you hearing him with an echo?
Well, I'm not hearing me with an echo.
No, but I am. So, was that
let me unmute
yes,
the phone.
you are hearing him with an echo? Or no, you're not hearing him
No,
with
they're
an
not.
echo?
They're not. They're not.
Right, okay.
No, they're not. I've just checked myself. They are not hearing me with an echo. They're just hearing me as if I am talking to you right now through this camera, and as if I am. I should have put on the wig, because I am delighted to tell you that I am now writing a column for the Daily Mail, because
And-
apparently the fact.
And you'll continue doing our guest spots on Chasing Descent, won't you?
Yes, I will continue doing my guest spots. Vaughan says I don't hear an echo, but he does sound like a whiny little bitch.
No,
well,
that's to be expected, Vaughn. That's to be expected.
You have to understand this, Vaughan. I was forced to resign from the Parliament, so of course I'm going to sound like a whiny little bitch, because they were just going to suspend me anyway, so I must have preempted them. And now I'm going to go and whine about it like a little bitch in the Daily Mail.
Right, I think that's... Can you talk again and make sure they're still hearing you? I think I've got things done.
They can hear me just fine.
Right,
And no,
okay.
I didn't swear there.
Oh, right, okay. So, where are we?
Friday night.
No,
not
it's
Friday.
Sunday night, mate. Sunday night.
And I can see in the chat a domestic about to kick off, because apparently Shalini's broken Vaughan's fan. In this heat, in this weather.
Well, you know what? Shalini's just going to have to be the fan.
Apparently Beats and Tates thought I was trying to be David Attenborough at first. It's basically the same thing, isn't it? It is.
Yeah.
Notice now the rare and indigenous Mr. John sitting in his hovel in Scotland.
Scotland. Right. Anyway, hey, do you want to go to? You know who's coming to London on the 23rd of September?
Who?
Netflix.
The guy that does our music.
Yeah,
Oh, blast him a fucking email.
I know. We should.
So
We should hook up and see if we can either get a spot, pre-show, or live stream part of it.
Yeah, go send him an email.
23rd of
We'll
December.
use all of his music.
The Dome or something? Is that right? The Dome? Where's that? Is that in London?
There's a dome in Brighton.
No, it's in London. It's in London. It's 23 quid a ticket, which isn't bad.
Drop him an email. Just drop him an email and say, "Oi, we only exclusively use your shite because it's royalty free. Thank you. We'll come and interview you." I like interviewing people.
Yeah, I think we should.
Speaking of interviewing people, that's what we were supposed to be doing right this particular minute.
Indeed, we are supposed to be, but I don't think they want to be interviewed anymore. They seem to be avoiding us.
Sure. So, for those who don't know, Brent Lee and Neil Sanders of Some Dare Call It Conspiracy podcast were supposed to be on Thursday. And then we got a message saying that Neil was not well, so could we reschedule it? So we rescheduled it to tonight. And I've been told that Neil is still unwell. And if that is the case, get well soon. But we don't have a date for...
Get some fucking vitamin D in you. And some meat, probably. You look a bit anemic anyway. I hope he's not a veggie. He looks like a veggie, doesn't he?
Well, I couldn't tell you because I don't know what veggies
I hope he's not homosexual. Or because if he is, I've just said get some meat in you. What's more offensive, if he was a homosexual or if he was a meat veggie?
That's us demonetized.
Probably. Like, who cares at this point in time? We get way more money from our donators than we get from YouTube. But having said that, we get way more money from YouTube than we get from Rumble.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. You can press the button on that one because that's bloody true. Despite the fact we've been monetized on Rumble since day one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We've made 7,000 times more money on YouTube.
Yeah, we haven't even made a quid yet on Rumble. We haven't even made a quid. In total. And still, we get called grifters. The amount of hours versus the amount of money that we've made. Yeah. We get called grifters.
Well, who calls us grifters, just from our interest? Why do they call us grifters?
I can tell you exactly how much. We've
£7.34. Oh.
We've made 39 American cents on Rumble.
And £7.34 on YouTube.
Yeah. And that's total across the life of the channel. 39 American cents.
And that's the total since we became monetized on YouTube, which was what, towards the end of
6 weeks ago. 6 weeks.
Yeah, the end of April.
Yeah. So we've 6 weeks. We've made £7.34 on YouTube, and in nearly 2 years, we've made 39 total cents on Rumble.
What will we do with all this money?
I have no idea. I mean, I'm going out and I'm buying my first Bugatti next week, John.
A Veyron, perhaps?
Perhaps. Buying it off of Tate. You don't want it anymore.
Can't drive it with a tag on.
Getting a deal, mate. Second hand. Getting a deal.
Whaling. Well, actually, let's go to the chat. I've jumped into whaling, right? Whale meat.
Right.
Apparently, whale meat is loaded with vitamin D. Is it in Aldi yet? Well, I don't think they're going to sell it in Aldi. Well, not in this country. But Shalini's jumped in with, I think whaling is outlawed. Well, yes and no.
Yes and no. Depends.
Yes
if
and
you're
no.
Japanese, you're not going to stop.
It's it is outlawed in Japan, but not for scientific reasons.
Have you seen? I think it's a South Park episode. You don't watch South Park, do you, John?
No, I don't, because I find it inane.
I'm pretty sure there's an episode where Stan goes and joins one of these whale wars type reality shows.
Yeah.
Where they try and stop the whalers, and like every 2 minutes, a Japanese whaling boat is turning up and attacking them and screaming at them in Japanese.
Yeah, I think. I mean, let's be honest. The Japanese are a bit like the Chinese in that they continue to eat things that, well, we in the West would consider to be barbaric, inhumane, cruel, disgusting. But yeah, they still do it. What do you mean? What?
It's no, because I don't understand why we in the West would consider these things this way. Because let's face it, what is the difference? And I'm going back to that Peter. Remember that Peter poster that came up in Cleethorpes with the cat behind the fishmongers, right? And they all look at it from another perspective, and it's a pretty little house cat. What is the difference between eating a whole load of cod and a whole load of cats? In reality, nothing. There is no difference.
Not really. They're both pretty much useless to the human race, other than as a source of food. You know?
But still, you know, I kind of don't get that argument unless they're appealing to people's emotional side only.
Well, they are. Of course they are. And
I guess that
it's like when you go to Florida and they've got dolphin on the menu, right? And you think, I can't eat that. And then dolphin in Florida is not dolphin, as in porpoise. It's a fish. It's something completely different. So, but the Japanese do eat dolphins, and they do eat whales. In fact, if you want to watch something pretty harrowing, go and watch The Cove.
Right.
It's either on Amazon or Netflix. I watched it. It's a documentary.
It's also like I've seen this argument raging in the EU about octopus farming recently.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we shouldn't be farming octopi because they are space aliens.
They are space aliens, definitely.
They are space aliens.
Them, right? Cuttlefish and squid.
They should not. They should not exist within the bounds and realms of this planet, to be honest. But still, I don't get this argument because to say we can't farm or consume one animal is surely to say we can't farm or consume any, or are we saying that we are prioritizing them by their brain power? Is that what we're saying?
Well, kinda. I think kinda, yeah.
Do you think that should be the case?
Criteria? I don't know.
So Vaughan says there is a difference. Eat some effing rats then. Well, if they were cooked properly, I don't see why not. At the end of the day, this is the thing. I'm a meat eater.
Gino did. He cooked and ate a rat in the jungle and got done for it.
He did.
Which he did. That's the one I can't understand. I mean, the Australians eat kangaroo and emu and ostrich and or whatever the
kangaroo is delicious.
It's all right. It's a bit gamey. It's all right.
I enjoy it. Oh yeah, but I like really gamey things.
It's a bit like venison. Yeah. I mean, we eat Bambi. We eat Bambi.
Yeah, but what's the difference between like a rabbit stew and hare and a rat? To be honest, it's same. They're rodents, right? People eat those.
It's just a heel's a bit bigger. Yeah.
Well, this is exactly right. You know, yeah, you can. A lot of places here in England, Shalini, you can get a kangaroo burger.
Oh yeah, kangaroo is quite common.
It is.
Yeah, a kangaroo's all right. Do you know there are wild wallabies in England?
Did not know that.
Yeah, there are wild wallabies in England. They broke out of like safari parks and things, and there are breeding populations of wallabies live in England. So if you see something that looks like a wallaby in England, it probably is a wallaby.
I mean, I'm seeing the emotional argument in the chat from Shalini saying, you know, hard pass, no, they eat Skippy, or
no venison's lovely.
But realistically, what is the difference between eating those things and eating a cow?
Well, nothing. No, I can understand that. I think where the Chinese go wrong. I mean, and let's face it, I'm quite happy to eat squid, right? I'll eat squid.
I like squid. I've tried squid. I just don't like it.
Well, I mean, we call it calamari usually, but it's lovely.
Yeah.
Right. And I've eaten octopus. I've eaten alligator. I've eaten rabbit. Yeah. I've eaten venison, which is deer. I've eaten beef, which is cow. I've eaten buffalo, which is bigger, angrier cow.
Buffalo's good.
Yeah, buffalo is good.
Horse is lovely.
I haven't knowingly ate horse, right? But I probably have at some
If
point.
you went to Burger King at some point during the, you know, during the scandal, you almost certainly did.
Yeah, I've never had snake, although
I haven't.
alligator's very like chewy chicken. It's quite
Like
the.
it. I don't like alligator.
No, I liked it.
Sharks, lovely.
I thought it was, shark is fantastic. Shark is the best fish supper you'll ever have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely the best fish supper you'll ever have. They sell it in Australia called flake and chips. That's a shark supper, and it's because shark doesn't have many bones. It's only got cartilage, and it just in the cooking process it just disappears. It's moist and juicy and just lovely. Shark is fantastic.
Tell you what, actually, you know the Tesco around the corner from my house.
I'm salivating at the thought of eating shark.
So the Tesco around the corner from my house there has got a place next to it
Yeah.
that sells a frozen shark steak.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
That's cool. Shark, shark and tuna and proper tuna, you know, not out of tin. Swordfish, all that kind of stuff. They're all really good. And Shalini goes, no, not shark. Well, hold on a minute, Shalini. Shark wouldn't hesitate to eat you.
Yeah, I mean, look what happened just in Egypt just the other day.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
Mr. Popov.
yeah, shark's not going to hesitate to eat you. So why would you hesitate to eat that?
They're gonna look at you and think, hors d'oeuvre. That's what they're gonna do.
Bite-sized. Pardon me.
But,
A bite-sized snack.
Did you? Oh.
What are you laughing at?
You've just reminded me of Friday night.
Oh no! Let's leave that till a bit later. Let me have another beer first. Right, okay. We'll come on to that. So
We
yeah.
will come on to that.
Oh, how did we get on the subject of eating
Well, do you know
dolphin?
what? That's why I like these shows where we don't really have an agenda, because it can go anywhere.
Yeah, it kind of did. But yeah.
Shalini says sharks in the water. Shalini no go in. She knows.
Oh well.
She knows.
See, I went
These are
diving
snack
once.
food.
I was diving once, and I was all ready to jump in the water, and the instructor was, not the instructor, the guide guy was already in the water, and he goes, "Hurry up, quick, jump in. There's a shark. I don't want you to miss it."
Okay.
And I'm stepping off the boat as he says, "Hurry up, quick, jump in." So I'm stepping off the boat at this point, and as I'm going down, I'm hearing, "There's a shark." The next thing I'm in the water. Uh-oh. And it was like 9 feet.
no.
It was like 9 feet long. It was a big shark.
So it was a tiger shark, wasn't it? that
No,
got
what? Oh, it was a tiger shark in Egypt, but this wasn't. This was a nurse
Yeah.
shark, which isn't quite so bad. It just started
Did
doing a
you know?
TikTok dance.
So
Did you like that?
did you know that and this is something I have found out in my research following the tragic death of Mr. Popov.
Go on.
The great white is not really. You have Jaws to thank for thinking that's the most common shark attacker. It is the tiger shark.
Yeah, of course. Well, or the
Tiger
mako.
shark.
Mako's quite popular man-eater as well, I think. And you get
but
makos
the
in our
tiger
waters.
shark-
You don't get tiger sharks
You
up.
do.
What? You don't
you
get
do.
tiger sharks up here much, but you get a lot of mako.
Yeah, you do. You do get makos in the waters.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's.
Did you see that? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but did you see
No,
that?
you do.
Did you see that video of the whale in the River Clyde?
I did not.
Oh, it was on Twitter, and there was a whale in the River Clyde, and they were going, "There's a humpback whale in the River Clyde." It wasn't a humpback whale. Humpback whales are really, really big.
Really big.
You know what it was? It was a minke.
Okay.
No, I'm not doing an Inspector Clouseau impersonation. That's a minke. No, it's a minke whale. It was definitely a minke, because I've seen many a minke in my time, you know, scooting about the Firth of Clyde and boats that I used to own when I had money and could afford
When you had money.
when I could afford to go out in the water and just flush 20s away. Now, I could achieve the same thing if I had 20s by standing in the shower and burning them.
Yeah, you could. You could.
Hammerheads are not cute sharks. Hammerheads
Yeah,
are
I
like,
agree.
they're weird. They are
Are they
not.
nightmare fuel?
Pardon?
Would you consider them nightmare fuel?
Yeah, they kinda. Yeah, they're not. It's not a good thing. Not a good thing.
Shalini says she did whale watching in Canada years ago. Did a Japanese boat turn up at any point?
No, because they normally do it. They normally do their whale catching down in the Antarctic, don't they? Or just in the not the Antarctic, but the Southern Ocean.
That's what was happening in that South Park episode. Every time that they went and saw some whales, Japanese boat would turn up and they'd start throwing things at them, screaming, "Fuck you, whales! Fuck you, whales!" That's a really good episode, actually. I'm gonna go and watch that after this.
Are you? I've been. You know what? I've been watching The Thin Blue Line
Right.
with Rowan Atkinson and some of the other people, David Haig and all that. It's actually quite funny.
Back when
It's
when comedy was allowed to be funny.
yeah, when comedy was allowed to be funny. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
And the guy the black guy out of Coronation Street. No, not Coronation Street. EastEnders. Can't remember. Anyway, so it was good. Yeah, I liked it. It was funny.
Yeah, well, comedy up until about 10, 12 years ago was funny. And and especially, BBC, ITV, mainstream TV comedy, because they wanted to hook people and keep them watching, because they were getting into the era of, about 15, 20 years ago, we were getting into the era of branching out to more networks, and things like Sky were coming up and things like that. And at that point, they needed that hook. They needed to be able to still be relevant and still be funny. But now, I really don't know what's happened. It seems like the institutions, all of the major institutions, be it TV, news, education, all of it has been captured by what can only be coined a bloody mind virus. It has. I see all these people, they keep saying, "Oh, we're winning, our boycott's winning, this is winning, that is it though?" Because it seems to me that these institutions are still very much under control by these by these things.
See, I just went like this with my hands, right? For no apparent reason, okay? I just did this, okay? And then I thought, oh my God, I'm making the symbols. And then I thought, why the fuck am I worried about this? And it's like...
Someone's calling me.
Someone's calling you?
Someone's calling me a Mason.
Yeah.
Because I've put my fingers together.
I mean, it's like you sometimes do things like this when you're thinking about something.
Yeah, you do.
Because and that's why people, when they're doing something that involves a lot of concentration, they stick their tongue out and clamp it between their teeth. Because there's so many sensory, there's so much senses in your tongue that if you clamp it firmly between your teeth and stop it, flopping around and tasting and doing whatever it does when it's out there, it helps you concentrate. And it's a kind of bad habit that people get into, especially if you're doing something that involves sudden stops or potential crashes, because you can end up biting your tongue off. So it's never a good thing to clamp your tongue between your teeth. Don't do it, people. Just don't do it. I've seen people bite their tongue off. It's not nice.
Public service announcement.
Right, so
says, okay, John,
I'm
we
not.
know you're a Mason. It's okay.
Never been a Mason. Never. The closest I probably got was when I was in the Rotaract Club, which is like a junior version of the Rotary Club. My chief inspector suggested that this might be a good thing for me to get into, and I certainly enjoyed snogging the girls at the party, but we'll not go into that. But anyway, right. So it's
closest thing.
We'll maybe read about that in the book.
The closest thing, because remember, I get accused of being a Mason a lot, right? And I tell you, the closest thing I've ever been to the Masons was when I was arrested wrongfully, and it was probably a Mason arresting me. That's the closest I've been.
You know what? I mean, I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, I don't know how. I don't know about the Masons, to be fair. Maybe Ed will tell us about it at some point. The book's still very much a work in progress, really. Very much a work in progress.
Written the first chapter.
I started it. I've got a page done. Anyway.
I don't believe you.
I do. I'll send you the page. Right. What was I talking about?
I don't know. We were talking about comedy being funny and the institutions being captured.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's actually what I wanted to touch on. I wanted to go back slightly to Twitter today and yesterday. It's as if we've gone back to 2020. What the hell is going on?
You know, the amount of people that have piled on me. Right?
Yeah, well, what's going on? Why is people...
I don't know.
And why... I mean, and even our guests made what I thought was a particularly stupid comment, right? Yep. Our potential guests that probably don't want to come back now. But I did pile on him because I thought that's a stupid comment, right? Because he said something about, corpses piling up, right? Let's just leave it at that. And I posted, the deaths for a whole period of time. I think the last 70 years, I think I posted today. And I said, could you point out when they piled up? But I made it difficult because I mixed them up and took the dates off the bottom. So I said, point to the column that shows me when they piled up. And nobody's come back to me yet. Nobody's come back with a right answer.
I'll give you an abbreviated YouTube-friendly version of what happened. The video was released, right? You know that video of them, Sean Bailey, when he was running for mayor of London. Him and his 24-person staff during a lockdown having a Christmas party.
Yeah, right. Okay, that one that's on Twitter.
Yeah. And so I've seen all of the people being angry, saying, oh my God, I wasn't allowed to do this. I wasn't allowed to do that whilst you did that. And I simply made a very salient, I think, point that people made their own choices to remain in their homes because there was not an armed guard at your door. At any point, you could have opened the door and walked out of it.
Yeah.
At any point.
Yeah, and most people, well, many people, certainly people I knew, did regularly and without fear or favour. Woohoo! Super chat from Dreadeye.
Was it 35?
No, it was not 35. But it was a good guess. It was a good guess, Dreadeye. It wasn't 35 though.
But you could have. Anyone could have. And this one woman has been. I've ended up blocking her because she spent an entire 2 days attacking me, simply because I was pointing to factual proof and data and evidence and statistics, and despite the fact that this real world data exists and I was pointing to it, I was being called a science denier. And I'm like, here's the science. Why am I denying? What am I denying?
See, this is the part I don't get, because it's like, have you seen this guy?
I mean, well,
Joe Rogan stirred it. Elon Musk has stirred it up particularly, but Joe Rogan stirred it up as well. And Elon Musk Joe Rogan offered what, $100,000 donation to a charity of choice if this guy Tony Hotez,
Dr. Peter Hotez,
it goes on and debates with what's
Robert
his name?
Kennedy Jr.
RFK Jr. Right, and the question
has now raised to over $1 million.
Is it by whom?
Between people, people have been chipping in. Tim Caster's put in $100,000.
Well, there you go.
Pot has...
Right, so I mean, it's huge, and Have you seen this guy? And I'll be fair. He said he'd been hassled by someone coming to his door, or someone pulling him up and pulling him up about why wouldn't he go on and debate it? Didn't he have the?
Yeah, so I've seen this video.
Yeah. So and then this guy comes out and says, "Yeah, it was me." So I have to apologise, because I said I thought it came from the big book of things that never happened. But fair play. If it happened, it happened. You know.
Right. So I've seen the video, and the guy's pretty polite. He walks up to him on camera.
Yeah.
And he asks him if he's going to do it. And then he asks him some questions about people that might have been injured by certain things. Right. And then he walks away. Now I am a bit confused about this entire situation. The reason being that I see a lot of people calling it harassment, okay, and saying they're calling for this guy who works for a media company to be arrested.
It's not harassment.
Well, the thing is it harassment if Sky? Well, let me give you an
example. Is that harassment if Mariana Spring goes to a market where you've got a stall and starts chinning you when you've already told her not to contact you? Is that harassment?
Is it harassment when, what's her name from the Washington Post? And I'm sure people will give me her name, I forget. But she goes and knocks on the doors of all of the family members of Chaya Rychek, libs of TikTok. And in fact, goes and hunts her down as well. Is that harassment? Because it's the same thing, right?
Yeah.
But the same people will cheer that on. They'll cheer that on as fantastic. But they'll say, because we like this guy, it's harassment. If any news organisations pop up outside your house and wait for you to come out to try and give comment or statement, is that harassment? Because this guy works for an online media organisation.
Yeah, yes, it probably is. But speaking of harassment, what about Nippy?
What's going on there?
Well, someone says, no matter what happens with Nippy, I'll stand behind her because she's always courteous and kind and very respectful of her neighbours. So respectful that she has a press conference on the front lawn outside her house this morning.
Oh.
That's really respectful of your neighbours when you stand at the end of your driveway. And let's face it, it's not like she lives in like a big house in secluded grounds. She lives on like a new build 3-bed or whatever. Detached, of course, but that's about all it's got
for. In the garden.
Yeah, there's about 6 feet of front garden, and that's it.
Well, there was about 6 feet of front garden. Now there's just mashed up earth where holes have been dug.
Yeah, but they're all over everybody else's garden as well. I mean, that's not respectful of your neighbours.
No.
But
no,
Tony's right. Selective outrage it is, because I mean, it's people like picking sides again. They just it's and the thing is, it's as if I'm going back in time, because I thought all this had been dealt with. I thought these people understood that there really wasn't. And some guy's freaking out. He was freaking out today about the millions of people that died in America as a result of this. And that's it's a hard one to say, but that's only if people didn't die from anything else at all.
Well, exactly.
Because see, when you take the world and look at the amount of people that died over the last 5 years, it's always 0.76%. So how can that be?
How
can that be?
I don't have an answer for you. I really don't.
And that's a fact. That's from the UN. So how can that be that figure is the same from 2020 to 2015?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, there's a lot of...
What's distracting you? Spit it out.
What's distracting me is the way I want to word this.
Right, okay.
I've been trying to work out how to word this. And the only way I can say it is if you look at a book called How to Lie with Statistics.
Bill Gates' favourite book.
Yeah,
Someone posted today, right? Why would anyone debate anything? Well, obviously they can't read, right? So this guy who's meant to be a PhD posts, why would anyone debate anything with Joe Rogan? He's a comedian, you know, and not a virologist or a public health expert or anything like that. Yeah, but hold on. Can I finish? Yeah. So why would anyone do this? And I'm like, well, obviously you can't read because he doesn't want to do the debating. He wants them to debate with RFK. But who would you leave it to then? Someone like Bill Gates? Because Bill Gates seems to be the font of all knowledge, doesn't he? He seems to be recognised as, you know, an expert in public health.
You know, somebody asked me today what qualifications I have to interpret data. Right? That's what I was asked. What qualifications do I have to interpret data? Well, I'm looking at the data. I'm looking at the data. The correlation between all countries when it comes to one thing and another thing does not exist. Okay, so therefore you can come to the conclusion that those things did not have an effect on one another.
Pardon me. What's this called? What's this called? You know, when
these people,
when things get to when things get to the point that you've got to be an expert in a subject before you can opine on it. What's that called? There must be a name for that.
I think we should coin a term for it now.
Well, yeah, what?
We should coin the term for it. We should call it super retardation.
We can make a movie called that, couldn't we?
It's like Superbad, you know, the boys running around trying to get laid. Except for it's just a woman trying to run around going, "What qualifications do you have? What qualifications do you have?"
That's an appeal to authority fallacy. Ron's right. That's what it is. It is, and I mean it's ridiculous.
I like
it's
my
like
version better.
Yeah, but yes, I know. Retardation. We could call it the super retardation fallacy.
And you know what? Anytime they really want to go at me, I just give them the Fauci video where he actually told the truth. Do you remember that video where Fauci actually told the truth?
Yeah.
I mean, at any time, in any point in history, there has never been. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know. What? Oh, I can't hit the button because I changed it because we never use it anymore. I don't know what that button is now.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to revolutionize.
It's Install Freedom. Install Freedom 2.0.
But it's got to the point where I was literally asked today, and I'm not joking,
hold on.
qualifications I had to interpret data.
Yeah.
She goes to me, we can all read data, but what qualifications do you have to interpret that data?
Well, you've got qualifications in statistics, haven't you? And economics.
I do!
And did you point this out to her?
I blocked her. I thought this woman's too far gone. I've been dealing with her all afternoon. She's already had the Fauci video. I don't know what to do here.
You can't argue. See, this is the problem. You can't argue with these people, and it's like our intended guests. They've been banned. Their YouTube channel has been banned for misinformation.
Yeah, and do you know what? I don't find that funny because I don't think
it's freaking hilarious because they purport to be the arbiters of truth. And yet YouTube has banned them for pointing out stuff that they think is misinformation as misinformation.
Right, and let's be completely transparent so that we're not misleading. They're on a 7-day, and they're on a 7-day for what I believe to be medical misinformation.
Well, there you go. I didn't classify, but
totality.
So there you go. I mean, that's incredible. I think that's incredibly funny.
Well, I think it's certainly ironic.
And then it leads on to Mariana, doesn't it? Right? Well, is the BBC not been accused now of producing misinformation because of
Well, yeah, the thing
Mariana's
is-
stuff? Because it's been deliberately, it's been found to be it's either misinformation or disinformation. So apparently, misinformation is when you do it unknowingly, right?
She knew. She knew.
You didn't do it deliberately. If it is disinformation, you deliberately knew it to be false and purported it to be correct.
I mean, she even reported when it came to Carl Benjamin, right, that he showed up a second time in Totnes, and half the people, this was what Mariana reported, half the people that were protesting him the first time he was in Totnes were now radicalized by him and supporting him in a massive rally in Totnes.
But he'd never
He
been
never
back.
fucking went back.
I know.
She got this quote apparently from the mayor of Totnes, I believe. So someone made this up, and she never even thought.
She didn't check it. I know.
Subject of the. Well, she didn't even ask him for comment. She said his YouTube channel was banned. It isn't. She said that he was in Totnes with Milo Yiannopoulos. He wasn't. She said that he went back a second time. He didn't. This is disinformation because as BBC verified, okay, they're supposed to be purporting to be the arbiters of truth. And if they won't even check with the subject on which they are reporting, how on earth can they ever be the arbiters of truth?
They can't.
How?
They can't.
They can't. They can't.
They
So-
can't. They can't.
No.
Jim,
She's an outright idiot. She's an outright liar.
you're right.
And I caught her lying. I caught her lying on camera.
Yeah, I know.
People,
I know.
but you know, you can only shout these things into the ether. The fact of the matter is, we have a YouTube channel with 16 people watching right now, and she has the weight of the British state behind her.
Yeah, I know.
That's what we're up against.
Yeah,
So we can
it kind of is.
we can sit here and we can say this stuff, but if she says it's not true, it will suddenly be not true, despite the fact it's totally true. Do you get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
She has the power of billions and billions of pounds and lawyers and, you know, BBC license fee money, and what have we got? We're just sitting in little makeshift studios in Scotland and on the southeast, trying to make a mildly entertaining and informing show. We're up against it. We really are. What are you giggling at?
I'm laughing at Andrew. It's Andrew in the chat. He made a tweet and he said to someone, "What is hokey pokey?" I think they probably meant hokey cokey because that's a dance, isn't it?
It's a knees bend, arm stretch, rah rah rah. You put your left leg
in, you put your right leg out.
In out,
shake it all about.
You do the okey cokey and you turn around. That's what it's all about.
So yeah, that was that.
Oh, okey cokey cokey.
What have we got here? So the new multi-million-pound anti-disinformation unit, BBC Verify. Mariana Spring has been accused of spreading fake news by Carol Benjamin, who has complained to Ofcom and the BBC.
I'd say this goes.
Oddly, she has not responded.
Not only did she not respond, when he pointed all this stuff out to her, instead of responding, she blocked him.
Mm-hmm.
She blocked him.
Yeah, she did. Yeah. Boris Johnson's notebooks have been not returned to him from his time in power because they may constitute a national security issue.
I wanted to publish those notebooks in the Daily Mail.
I think Boris constitutes a national security issue.
I mean, when I saw that advert the first time, I think it was on Wednesday.
Yeah.
It could have been Wednesday. I just sat there going, "Holy shit!" I went, "This is gonna piss so many people
okay.
off." And I was just
We've
sitting
got to
there with my
remake it.
wife going, "Look at this."
Got to remake it. You've got to voice over that.
I will do a voice over the thing
Yeah,
for you.
you've got to. You've got
But
to.
what are we gonna call him? Because we can't call him Boris.
Well, you don't need to call him anything. Because he's not. He doesn't say it's me. Hi, it's Boris. He just says.
He does. He says Boris Johnson here.
Well, you can say whatever you like. You can call him Doris.
Yeah.
Doris Onson.
It's Doris Johnson here. Just
Yeah.
like to let you know that on Saturday I will be
Don't-
in Nadine Doris. I mean the male.
Yeah, something like that. Right. Don't give all your tricks away. Let's make one serious news item just so as we can.
Do we have to?
I tell you, well, we don't have to. I'm going to test Ko-fi people because I fixed it. Because remember, I got donations the other day and we didn't get unless you want to test it by sending me a donation right now, but I was going to test it. Because we never heard the siren or the readout.
From someone 3.
No, it's not.
Hold on.
At least it's not in
From
chat.
someone, did someone push my
I
button?
will have to
Something.
3.
I'm grabbing the link.
Oh.
Don't worry.
I'm not hearing it. Why am I not hearing it?
Someone send you one.
No, I just redid. No, I just did this. I sent a test. This is
Did someone?
OBS is. Oh no! Hold on. It's OBS. OBS is crap. It really is.
Oh, they heard it.
They held it.
Yeah.
They held it, but we didn't. Oh well, that's
Yeah.
good. Well, if you guys held it, that's good. So I did fix it. But so there you go. I did fix it. Lovely.
They heard it.
Excellent.
There you go.
Oh, I think
They heard it.
I might know which. Just give me a second. Oh, it's
Giving you a
hot here.
second.
It's hot here.
See, I'm actually quite cool because we had a bunch of thunderstorms overnight,
All right, if I did that. Oh, did you?
and it's been quite heavily raining on and off all day.
May
I'm
I
kind of
may I test it again, people?
I'll put the audio on here, so you test it now.
Right, hold on. I just want to check something. I don't want to offend you, but I'm going to test it again, people, because nobody's sending us coffees.
From someone, there was a young bot from Ko-fi who said, well, hello there, do excuse me.
Right.
Yeah.
$2
Yeah, it works.
and 10 cents, £4 and 3 pence, it's all in your bank with no fee. 3.
It definitely works.
Okay. Yeah, it works.
I don't know what the pooch was up to, Shalini. I really don't. How can a dog get into that position and think it's comfortable? I was hoping Ben would post a picture of the other half of the Chasing Descent dog team, because it's like we're pretty diverse because we've got one of each colour.
Yeah, we do. I got one of them white ones, boy.
Yeah, and I got a brown one.
You- Actually, I did take a picture of the dog earlier on.
I feed mine raw meat.
So I will describe the picture I took of the dog because my wife might kill me if I actually put it out. So
Why?
my wife was asleep earlier on. She's asleep on the couch.
Right.
And there was a gap maybe this wide between the back cushion and my wife's head.
Okay, and the dog squeezed
the
its way in.
dog- Squeezed its way into the gap and then fell asleep, curled up around my wife's head.
Yeah,
And I thought,
dogs are weird.
what the actual fuck? So I took a picture of that.
Dogs are weird though, aren't they? They do stupid things.
Well, yeah, they do. They do stupid things. Plus, the dog is pretty pissed off with me these last few days because I'm the one that's been giving her ear medication and she don't like it. Right? So anytime she sees me, she thinks the ear medication's coming out and she just goes, huh, huh, she's just pissed with me, and I'm like, "I am fixing you, you little bastard! I'm fixing you."
That's cool.
But she doesn't understand that.
Do you not want me to then read this article of news, or do I just leave it for?
Give it to me.
Oh, it's just
give it to me.
I just thought 24 nations are now aligning against the US dollar as BRICS looks to launch a new global currency.
Nobody saw that coming.
Well, I think we did. I think we've been banging on about this for over a year, actually, to be fair.
Yep.
So there you go. There you go.
There you go.
There you
that's
go.
All I can really say is nobody really saw that coming, did they? I mean, we certainly didn't say it was coming or anything.
No.
We
didn't.
This is the way that the United States is going to be undermined and collapsed. It won't be through a hot war. It'll be through this. It'll be collapsing the
dollar. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing. As soon as you don't need dollars to buy oil, you don't need to trade with the US.
Nope.
Because you don't need dollars. If you don't need dollars, you don't need to trade with the US. Simples. And I tell you what, Twitter, we'll give you a free ride tonight. We'll give you a free ride.
We're gonna let them stay.
Yeah, we're gonna let them stay.
We're gonna let the possibly one person that could be watching on Twitter stay.
Yeah. We'll let you stay. Hi, Twitter.
I imagine because I've been trolled quite heavily because of the fact that I just simply said people locked themselves in their houses, right? So
well, they did. No one else locked them in their houses. They did it themselves.
Well, exactly. People made their own choices based upon propaganda coming out of the very building that the party was in.
Yeah.
The very building that the party was in. Yeah, and that's a point I'm going to lean on very, very heavily tomorrow morning on Rise with Sonia Polton. John, I don't think you can join me because you have something to do over there in the gym, right?
Yeah.
So I will be live with Sonia and Sean tomorrow morning. I think 7:45, I believe 7:45. Anyway, and we'll be live to discuss the Partygate situation. Partygate. What? Now is not the time to be stirring a pot, John.
Sorry?
You know exactly what I'm saying.
I don't know. I can't say you. What are you saying? Oh, God. Oh. I don't know what's going on here.
I don't know either.
Anyway, enough of this nonsense.
Oh, you know what?
What?
So it is something. I'm not going to name any names, right? I'm not going to name any names, but people who have been with us will know that about a year and a half ago, I was properly harassed, right, by a psycho who thought I was a Freemason every 2 minutes, and also a trans.
Is this going to be long? Are you going to go on for long?
No.
Do you want to go full screen? No. Okay, carry on.
Do you need a piss, John? Had a bit too much rum and coke, have we?
Possibly.
Yeah, go on then. Put me full screen. Go and have you. Go on.
Have you gone full screen? I think you might have.
I don't know. Yes. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I have. So somebody screenshot what? Oh, us two doing stupid things. Well, it turns out that person was arrested because myself and many others had made. I mean, this dude tweeted about me 3,000 times in a 48-hour period, and I've got all of it, for evidence or whatever. 3,000 direct tweets at me and about me in a 48-hour period. It was obsessive. And it was borderline dangerous, I think. And And perhaps not even just for me, because I'm not the first and I won't be the last. And in fact, there is another person right now, a woman, that he and one of his friends have been doing this too, despite the fact I believe the police still have his laptop from the first time he was arrested, and he's still on bail. He's doing it again. So, yeah, people take those sort of jokes very seriously. And the only reason we make those sort of jokes is because we're at the point now where that sort of harassment doesn't bother me anymore. But I can't believe that people are either so obsessed or so stupid that they would be doing this. Basically, I'm just telling them, John, the bloke that was arrested for doing all the harassment,
Yeah.
not just against me, but against others, doing it again, despite the fact he's still on bail. Not to me.
Yeah, that's
to
kind of
someone
stupid.
else now.
Yeah.
Right? And he's still got his laptop.
However, I would like to point out that I did do a 1.5 hour show on Friday night and never left the chair.
Well, if you had left the chair, they would have literally had nothing to look at.
Could that,
and you know
they
what?
could have looked at my map, because my map was on view, because when I go full screen now, oh no, I don't know, shall I try going full screen?
You can. Trudy, I don't want to name names. That's all I'm going to say. I don't want to name names. But
What's all this?
that name that you
Oh, that's the
mentioned,
test. So my full screen's not working.
not the main person, shall we say.
Right.
That's all I will say.
Anyway, let's just not play guessing games, shall we?
No, and let's not play guessing games. Let's just say that people have, people are either so stupid or they are so affirmed in their insane beliefs. And that's not just to do with this situation.
Oh,
That's to do with many. They're just so affirmed in their insane beliefs that they will go as far as they can, no matter what, to make the absolute bullshit they come out with true.
well, yes. Some of it's a belief system, but some of it's a belief system that is there because they need to continue their funding stream, and therefore they're beholden to the people that give them grants and things. And I'm thinking, in particular, scientists these days, because science
Mainstream
isn't.
scientists.
Yeah, science these days is all funded by corporations. You don't
Corporations,
get
big pharma.
you don't get independent scientists anymore.
No, we were talking about this the other day, weren't we? You don't get the stories like the guy that built a nuclear reactor in his garage anymore,
no.
because this sort of science it might well still be happening, but
yeah,
it's not something that could get any attention.
Well, you think about it, like Tesla, right? Tesla worked for corporations, but he did a lot of stuff on his own as well. But that guy,
In private, in secret.
what about that Canadian guy that does the frequency stuff? He's the kind of guy that, he's a kind of modern day Tesla, isn't he? Do you know what I mean?
No, I don't, and that's the problem.
I'll get you guys will know him. He does this frequency stuff, and you see levitation and all this because of the frequencies that he's pumping out through. He can make things levitate, and he's a Canadian
But
guy.
Can't you buy little toys that levitate on frequency now?
Yeah, but this guy, this is like serious stuff. This is like anvils, right?
Okay.
Yeah, this guy can make big things levitate, right?
I'm sorry, but when you say anvil, I just think of a Looney Tunes cartoon. That's it, right? You say anvil, I'm thinking get out the way.
Yeah, you're thinking the Willie E. Coyote and Acme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just do anvils actually have any real world use? That's the question.
Yeah, of course they do. How do you make a horseshoe if you don't have an anvil?
Yes, it was a joke, John. You
Oh,
were
right,
supposed
okay.
to laugh.
Oh, I'm sorry, but you asked a stupid question and I responded with a sensible answer.
No,
Hey,
actually,
see,
you
we've
responded
got
with the
18
appropriate
people.
answer.
We've got 18 people watching us, and that's brilliant
17.
because Well, it says 18 on YouTube, but anyway, that's brilliant because I don't think I got anywhere near that on Friday night. So obviously, as a team, we pull in more people than we do as a individual.
Listen, Murrell's trending, by the way.
Why is Murrell trending?
I'm about to find out. There was no sign of her husband, Peter Murrell, the party's former chief executive, who was also arrested. Police investigating claims that officials of the Scottish National Party accepted envelopes stuffed with cash from a relative of one of the party's MPs. Michelle Thompson, now an MSP, claims the former First Minister was aided by her husband, Peter Murrell.
Yeah.
Well, that's certainly a claim.
Well, right. So you have to be careful here, right? Because in Scotland there is this contempt of court thing apparently. So you got to be careful.
Scotland.
Yeah, you're not in Scotland. You're fine, but I am. So you need to be careful what you're saying. Now, my thoughts, okay, and I'm not opining on guilt or innocence or anything like that. But my thoughts are that she was arrested because the police needed access to something that they could only get if she was a proper suspect, rather than just, being questioned. Because your status changes between being questioned and then being cautioned.
So
And you only caution people once they're arrested. So they've obviously wanted to arrest her so they could caution her. And then anything she says after she's been cautioned can be used in evidence, right?
Yeah.
But if she's not been cautioned, they can't really use anything in evidence. So if they're arresting her for a specific reason.
I'll read you a news story here, published today in the Daily Record. So this is from your neck of the woods. So this is a Scottish newspaper that has reported this. MP bullied out of SNP on Nicola Sturgeon's orders amid police probe.
Yeah.
Nicola Sturgeon and former SNP chief Peter Murrell demanded Michelle Thompson resign and threatened her career if she refused to make it look like her own decision. MP Michelle Thompson was bullied, threatened and forced out of the SNP on the orders of then First Minister Nicola Sturgeon after her name became linked to a police inquiry. The former First Minister's right-hand woman, Liz Lloyd, and husband, Peter Murrell, played key roles in the operation to coerce Michelle Thompson to resign the party whip. The Sunday Mail can reveal. Edinburgh West MP Thompson was never a suspect, arrested, or charged with any offence, and not even spoken to the police when SNP HQ used strong-arm tactics to kick her out of the party. Sturgeon and former SNP chief Murrell demanded she resign and threatened her career if she refused to make it look like her own decision. The revelations will pile greater pressure on Humza Yousaf, who has rejected calls to suspend Sturgeon from the SNP or ask her to take a step back because of Operation Brunchfall.
Right, so why will it put more pressure on Humza? Because who's making the allegation?
Well, Michelle Thompson herself.
Okay, so that's one person making the allegation. Who's corroborating it?
I'm trying to work that out. I'm going through it right now. A source said Michelle was ruthlessly ejected from the party on the orders of Nicola Sturgeon.
Right, whoa.
Damage limitation strategy in the face of a few bad headlines.
Whoa. Right. So, what have we got here? Speculation.
Well, that's interesting coming from it's being well, I'm reading it on the Daily Records website.
Yeah. Okay, the Daily Record. The Daily Record's one step up from the Beano, but apart from that,
I'm making,
but it's still speculation.
Yes,
there's nobody named. Nobody named.
Right,
yeah.
Everyone appears.
Pardon?
Oh, you mean the source isn't?
Yeah, the source isn't named, so it's speculation. It could. I mean, who's the source? Is it Wee Willie's cat that's living behind the bins and in the back alley? Because that's it could be that. I mean, it's speculation. This is the kind of thing you pull me up for.
Yeah, I figured that this would be a bit more watertight than this because of your contempt of court laws. coming out of the Daily Record.
No, hold on, it's the Daily Record. Right, so I'll give you a pass here because you don't live in Scotland, but the Daily Record is effectively... Okay, it's maybe slightly better than the Sunday Sport, right? But it's like the Sun, if not quite as good. So the Daily Record's it's a tabloid. You know?
So what you're telling me is this was written by. I'll give you the name of the journalist if it's actually here. John Ferguson. Sunday Mail.
Well,
So
the
they
Daily
called it
Record,
a
Sunday Mail is
crime.
the same thing. It's the same company.
Yeah. So, but they'll argue that John Ferguson is in England, and that's why it's through the Sunday Mail.
There you go.
That's what they'll argue.
Yeah.
They'll argue that they'll argue that they can do this speculation because actually Ferguson is writing for the Sunday Mail, which is an English paper. That's what they'll do.
The Sunday Mail's an English paper. Do you mean the Mail on Sunday? Right, so you got to be careful here because the Daily Record and Sunday Mail's the same company. The Sunday Mail is the Sunday version of the Daily Record.
What? Why not call it the fucking Sunday Record?
No, it's the Sunday Mail and the Daily Record, right? The Mail on Sunday is definitely an English paper.
Okay, no, I see. I didn't know this.
Yeah.
I didn't know this.
You got to get your papers right.
This is actually retarded. Like, Daily Record. Call your Sunday edition the Sunday Record.
No, it's
Okay?
called the Sunday edition of the Daily Record is called the Sunday Mail.
Retarded.
It's the same building.
It is.
They're all in the same building, and it's all the same people that work in it. I can take
you
a
know what?
photograph of it if you want.
Yes, please.
In fact,
Yes, please.
I can tell you a story. Did I tell you a story about the naked hooker tied to a lamppost?
No, come on, tell us a story about the naked hooker tied to a lamppost.
So, where the Daily Record and the Sunday Mail is, it's a kind of
Yeah.
seedy-ish area, right? And behind it, there are a number of what one would term massage centres.
I think a friend of mine has a loyalty card to one of those centres.
Right, okay.
Gets his 10th massage free.
Yeah, that kind of thing. And hey, I'm not speculating whether they involve happy endings or not, right? But yeah. So, and then
How many of them are run by Thai people?
I'm not saying I don't know. I'm speculating. So, but then
I'll tell you a
beyond
story,
that, can I finish my story? But then beyond that, there's a kind of area that's maybe, shall we say, frequented by ladies of the night.
Right?
Okay, so
Yep.
we get a call one night saying there's a couple of people in distress in such and such a street. Could you go and check it out? So we come round the corner and there is a naked hooker tied to a lamppost with her naked client tied to the other side of the lamppost. Now, we never ever find out why, but it was quite humorous.
So a couple friends of mine were in Thailand. This was about 10, 11 years ago. Right, a couple of friends of mine were in Thailand. And they went to a massage parlour. And they genuinely just wanted a massage.
Oh,
They said, just a massage, please. No happy ending, right? Just a massage.
you know what happy ending?
Two massive guys came out, brandished guns in their hips, robbed them and kicked them out. Stole all their money and kicked them out because they didn't know.
Because they didn't want a happy ending.
Because they didn't want a happy ending.
Well, let's be honest, they didn't get a happy ending, did they? You know what, happy ending? We take your money, we kick you out.
Wait.
You don't even get massage. You don't even get reach around. Get the fuck. Me don't love you long time. No sucky fucky for you. Oh God,
Yeah, yeah.
that's a classic.
You don't want happy ending. You know, get happy ending. You'll get very, very sad ending. Oh, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what? It was that story. It was that story when that made me think. You know what? Thailand's probably not for me. You know.
I remember reading an article in a plane once, and it was all about Thailand, and some American journalist guy was doing some deep dive in it, and he was talking about the Thais and how how many people end up with a Thai wife or whatever, and they end up
visa wedding.
yeah, and they end up eventually losing everything because it all gets sent back to Thailand eventually. Right?
Absolutely.
Because the Thais look at the white man and think meal ticket, right? And they have a name for them, and their name is Farang, okay, i.e. foreigner. And it's like it's like the Chinese and the Japanese. They're much the same, you know.
Yeah.
UFO.
Yeah. Now, so my dad's best friend, right? My dad's best friend, and I'll tell you his real name. His name's Vince. He used to live in Thailand, and one day he'd been out there for about 15 years, and then one day he turns up on my dad's doorstep, nearly dead. Okay, so he's had to escape from Thailand, and he's got back here, and you know, we looked after him for about a year and a half, and then he got left the house here in the UK, and he sold it, and he got a lot of money. And the first thing the idiot did was go back to Thailand. Right? Vince is dead. And we don't know where his body is.
What an idiot.
And smartly, he left the vast majority of the money in a UK bank account and left the bank card with my dad. Right? Here in the UK.
Yeah.
And the woman that purports to be his girlfriend still to this day will occasionally ring up and ask for the bank account, and we'll say, "Where's Vince?" Oh, Vince can't come to phone. Vince can't come to phone right now. Vince sleeping. Right, we haven't seen Vince in nearly a decade. We haven't heard from him.
Vince sleeping with fishes. Vince and shark.
I mean, this man was the best man at my mum and dad's wedding.
Yeah,
right?
I'm not. Well, I'm mocking him. Sorry, Vince.
Yeah, he's a fucking idiot. He's a fucking idiot. He should never have gone back.
You sleep with the fishes, Vince.
But when he turned up nearly half dead, we did find out eventually it's because he'd been having he basically stole a bunch of money off of people who were knocking up counterfeit cigarettes. And they tried to kill him. And he ran away. And obviously, he's landed back in the country. They've seen him, and they've done him.
Oh, jeez, what an idiot. Why would he go back?
Yeah. I don't know, but, well, I think I do know, because despite the fact, you know, in this country, the money from a house sale wouldn't get you very far. In Thailand,
you could live
from a house sale, you're going to live like a king.
Yeah, yeah. But there are other places. There are places you could have gone to.
You should have gone to like Cambodia or something.
Yeah, or you could have gone to Central America. You live like a king there. And Central America's relatively safe. I mean, places like Costa Rica, you know, you could have lived like a king there.
Yeah, but unfortunately, I think he went back because he knew it and he loved it, and he was an idiot.
Yeah, lunatic.
Absolute lunatic. And you know, it's very sad because still my dad hears from this woman, and she still wants his money.
That's
right.
That's shocking.
Something that my dad never told her is eventually we gave the bank card to his brother. Right. So his brother was dealing with all of that, but at the end of the day, she don't know that.
Yeah.
And still, she calls up my dad looking for this money. Oh, Vince need his money. We told you 5 years ago that Vince wasn't getting his money. Right? Where is Vince? Vince Sweepy. He's very sleepy. He can't come to the phone right now. Yeah, he hasn't been able to come to the phone for the last 5 fucking years. Surely he's not been asleep that whole time. Oh, he'd definitely been asleep that whole time. Fucking hell. Yeah, Thailand's not for me. Tony Garrett says, Cuba, just ask Tommy. Is he still there?
Oh, Tommy Robinson, is he still in Cuba?
He's fled to Cuba, isn't he? Because
Yeah.
his documentary was released, despite the fact he's got a high court injunction on it being released.
Well, if he's not still there, he would be stupid to leave it. He's not coming back, is he? I mean, he's obviously not going to come back now, surely.
Well, you can't, really,
Surely.
can you? Unless you want to face 2 years in prison.
I mean, it's like these guys, like, you know, if you think about it, like Ronnie Biggs, you know, the great train robber, or one of them, right? So they go to Brazil and they have a Brazilian girlfriend, they get her pregnant and she has a child. So therefore you cannot be extradited from Brazil. Okay?
Yeah.
And then he comes back voluntarily, like, you know, to die in Britain, in prison. Why?
Honestly, I don't know. Guilty conscience, perhaps?
Yeah, I mean,
Who knows?
yeah. Well, they did shoot and kill the train driver or something, didn't they? Or the guard or something. I think they actually killed someone during the Great Train Robbery. You could probably have done it without doing that, but, you know, somebody probably... There's always one, isn't there? There's always one that gets the itchy trigger finger.
You know what? Our justice system is so unbalanced. It makes no sense. It doesn't apply things evenly. I mean, just look at you know, Charlie Bronson. Look at him. He's what's he doing? Why is he still in prison?
What did he do?
It's literally fighting, basically. He hasn't killed anyone or anything like that. He hasn't done anything extreme. They just call him Britain's most violent inmate.
Oh,
But
did he keep hitting people in prison?
He used to, yeah. He doesn't do it anymore.
Yeah.
Right, but he used to.
Yeah, but they just add on to your sentence, don't they?
But at the end of the day, then you see things like Sturgeon, who has not been charged with anything, granted, but probably only because of who they are is the reason they haven't had a charge placed upon them yet, until, you know, the police are going, this is watertight, now we can charge the fuckers. But
yeah,
ultimately they would have been charged with something. Look at me, I've been sitting on bail for nearly a year and a half.
Yeah.
Right? For being assaulted by a police officer. But you know, at the end of the day, this justice system in this country makes no sense. Nothing.
There's not a lot in this country that makes sense at the moment, to be fair.
No, it doesn't.
And there's not a lot of people in the country making sense of that. I mean, it's like, and all these people that are still going on about, you know, a general election and voting for another party, like Reform or what's it called? Refrain? No, Reform. Reclaim. Maybe we should start one called Refrain. Refrain from being an idiot.
Yeah,
that's a good party. Join the Refrain Party. Refrain from being an idiot.
And then we could take a leaf out of. Do you remember the film Brewster's Millions?
Yeah. Yeah.
Refrain from voting. None of the above.
Yes. We could do that. None of the above.
None of the above.
So it's like, you know, you're not going to change anything. You won't change anything. Reclaim's not going to change anything. If they get 1 or 2 members, it's not going to change anything.
So looping back round to what we're talking about here, the documentary Silenced, what they're talking about in the chat. I watched it too, and, you know, it's basically a documentary based upon people's accounts.
Yeah.
And there is some evidence for the claims made in there, especially with school reports and stuff. I don't really want to talk about it because I don't know what I can and can't talk about with regards to it, because there are high court injunctions on it. Okay, there are high court injunctions on it. Now, do I think that's right? No, I think that's a great suppression of free speech using the justice system, people should be able to make claims. People should be able to make claims and then be given the opportunity to back and evidence their claims. Okay. Now, am I saying the claims made in that documentary are true? I don't know. Is the answer?
Yeah, well, see and exactly that's the problem, Ben, because if you aren't allowed to examine claims, if you aren't allowed to hear both sides of a story, how are you meant to determine if it's right or not?
Well, exactly. I mean, there are a lot of people in that documentary that don't seem to be sitting in a room together and making up a story. But who knows, because they've all come from the same town, that could have happened at the end of the day. But there are a lot of people saying one thing, and they're saying this same thing over and over again. Now, once again, I can't tell you whether or not these things are true, because A, I wasn't there, and B, I haven't seen any like video footage, shall we say.
So this is actually a bit of a problem when you think about it, right? Because they have this thing called the Murav Doctrine, and if so many people, well, the Murav Doctrine is a legal term in Scotland, and it's a case where, because so many people reported one thing happening that was very, very similar, right? Mm-hmm. Even though they had no evidence other than their statements to back it up, because like 5 or 6 completely disparate individuals reported it, they made that was likely to have happened, and therefore the guy got found guilty and locked up for it, right? Mm-hmm. Which is fair enough, right?
Well, this was a civil case.
Yeah, okay, but different from that is when people then do a consensus, like climate change, when, and it's never 97%, but when they say 97% of climate scientists agree that this is such and such.
What they don't tell you is that there are probably 10 climate scientists, and that's 9.7 of them.
Yeah, but
one guy's not too sure.
But it's not even that. The problem is, right, when it comes to things like science, it doesn't matter how many people agree with it.
No, and that's why
if you're wrong, you're wrong.
And that's also why I think the idea of peer review is egregious.
Peer reviews, like, I'll just let my pals read this and see if they think it's good. That's all it is.
That is, and that same person who asked me what qualifications I had to interpret data, well, actually, probably far more than her, to be honest. But still, what qualifications? She asked me what peer review studies I had for, let's say, efficacy of coverings. I said, well, there's over 40 of them over 4 decades, if you want to have a look.
47, over 47 of them, isn't it? Yeah.
I mean, these things were true up until 2020, and then suddenly, without any evidence, they weren't.
But they are true again. They're true again now.
They're still true, but they never weren't. And I mean, just look at
yes, I know they never weren't. But they weren't. You weren't allowed to say they weren't true because that went against the narrative.
Well, this is it. And, Tony Garrett makes a very good point in the chat. The quality of the observation depends on the honesty of the observer. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, like you say, and when it comes to the idea of peer review, it's a bunch of mates knocking their heads together and going, oh, John's made a good thing here. Yeah, let's sign off on that. And that's all it is. And I think that is egregious.
Because it's like that thing that Brent said the other day when he said that corpses were piling up, right, during a certain period. Mm-hmm. And there's no evidence to suggest that's the case. So he's made a claim that hasn't been backed up, but it's been peer reviewed because Neil then tweeted, "He's right, So that's effectively peer review, right?
Yeah.
That's effectively what peer review is. Now the thing is, where's the evidence to sustain that statement?
I'll tell you what, there is evidence to sustain this statement, and I'm going to make this statement. Over the last 30 years, there have been at least 8 to 10 of those that have had higher rates of people.
Yeah, of course there is.
and that's true.
2018.
That,
2018.
but that is, yeah. But the thing is, that is true based upon data, like raw data that we have. And what qualification do I have to interpret data? Well, I'll tell you what. I have far more qualification to interpret data than Neil Ferguson has to fucking create fake data.
Yeah. And Andrew's come out with a cracker in the chat. Mm-hmm. Look what he says.
Yeah, I know. I know.
He was laid off from the funeral directors in lockdown. He was laid off because obviously there wasn't enough freaking work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He said if they piled up, I'd have been busy and wealthy.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, yeah.
I mean, I spoke to funeral directors and they said it was a quiet year.
I went in.
Yes, I know. I know, but you can't say. But yes, I spoke to funeral directors.
Yeah.
And they didn't have anything. They had nothing to tell me.
I will say I sat down in the executive suite with executives of an NHS trust, who showed me their computers.
Yeah, I know, and we all knew nurses and doctors and things, and we knew what was going on.
Yeah.
But the thing that gets me is, right, why are we back here now, 3 years down the line? Why are we still banging on about this?
But why are we still arguing? Why are there people that won't accept it? Do you know what? There is one thing. In the United States, they call Donald Trump's claims about the 2020 election, they call it the big lie, right? That's the term they use, the big lie.
Well, the Democrats call it that.
That's the term, and that's the term the media go with as well, right?
Yeah, well, most of the media, yeah.
That's not the big lie, ladies and gentlemen. It may well be a lie, but it's not the big lie.
No.
And the big lie uses the word asymptomatic. That's the big lie. And I will say no more.
Yeah. And you know what?
Destroyed our economies.
Yeah, it did.
That's the big lie.
I don't understand why we're still here. I really don't understand why we're still here and we're still having to defend or argue about these things on social media when this should have been put to bed. I mean, and why are we even just starting an inquiry on it now? Sweden's done it, dusted it, published a report. Why have we not? Why did we wait so long to start?
Because they've had to work out what they're going to say and do to start covering things up.
Yeah,
there's going to be a cover-up. There's going to be a cover-up.
Well, the thing is, it's just, the whole thing's ridiculous, right? The whole thing is just a complete and utter nonsense.
All I'm going to say is this. I don't want to talk about this stuff anymore.
No, I don't think so.
But we keep getting dragged back here. And I think this is going to happen over and over again for the next 5 years. Because I believe that's how long this inquiry is going to go on for, John. 5 years. Don't know why. Right? This
is crazy. Anyway, right. So I watched that thing on Netflix. I didn't watch it on Netflix, but I watched that space thing.
New season of Black
Mirror? The Black Mirror one, the number 3 that you were telling me to watch. It wasn't that hard to watch.
I mean, the end, you knew what was coming.
Oh, come on, mate. Right.
Yeah.
Seriously, by about the 4th minute in, you knew one of them was going to be fucking the other one's wife as a machine, right? But then the big flaw. Well, the spoilers here, folks. But the big flaw in my mind was, why the fuck did you even send them in the first place?
Now, see, I've thought about this long and hard, and the only thing that I can think of is because they kept saying they couldn't make a second machine, right? They kept saying that. They couldn't make one. So if the machines had broken up in space, the mission would have been over.
Well, yes, but what they actually said was they couldn't make a second machine without you being there. So why didn't they just make 2 or 3 of you and put them in storage?
See, that's what I would have done.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I would have done. Just made 2 or 3 of them.
So big flaw.
But yeah, well, it was a big flaw, but it was a fucking tough episode. It was.
Did you think so? I don't think it was that tough.
No,
It wasn't any worse than The Purge.
It was nice to see a Culkin get some work. It really was nice to see a Culkin get some work.
Who was the Culkin? Was that the
hippie leader.
Oh right,
At the
yeah,
beginning.
right, okay,
Yeah, it's nice to see a Culkin get some work.
Yeah,
every now
okay.
and again. I mean, someone like Macaulay Culkin, he'll never need to work. He just lives off his bloody Home Alone.
Oh
royalties,
yeah,
doesn't
of
he?
course
Just-
he does. Every
Yeah, of course he
Christmas he's coining it in.
Yeah. Every Christmas he just walks into the bathroom and goes,
Pa-ping!
I'm rich.
Check.
Yeah.
Another royalty checks come through.
And you know what? Those films are now on Disney Plus, so he probably gets
Oh.
even more.
Yeah.
They're owned by Disney now, aren't they? So I'm surprised because they did a Home Alone reboot when they launched Disney Plus. They did a Home Alone reboot.
Did they?
I've never seen it. It's called like Home Sweet Home Alone. I think that's what it's called.
Oh, it sounds bad.
I've never seen it.
It just sounds bad.
But
It just
You
makes
know
me
what I
kind of
would've
go,
done?
ooh. What? What would you have done?
if I had been behind the writing team that was writing a Home Alone reboot, I would have gone full circle and made it so Kevin McAllister was so traumatized by the childhood events that he went through that he was the robber now.
No.
Yeah. I'd have
No.
made him.
No, he'd
But
be
I'd have
so
made him-
he'd be so traumatized he'd turn into some kind of weird paranoid guy that would live in his house and never leave it, and you know he wouldn't be the robber.
Yeah, so okay, either that or just don't have it about a kid.
Yeah,
And have it about a paranoid Kevin McAllister.
yeah.
Who has to is Joe Pesci dead? Is Joe Pesci alive?
I don't know.
Because we could use Joe Pesci again. Have him turn up, having turned over a new leaf, being a Christian preacher. Trying to apologise.
Sure.
And then Kevin McAllister sort of draws some war paint on when he sees him, and he's like, "It's not going to be toys this time, boy." Oh dear.
So,
Yeah.
who you got coming on Thursday?
Hopefully, but from We Got a Problem, he's
Right.
still saying he's up for it, so
Right,
we're going
okay.
to do it.
Okay.
Right, hopefully. We've got Chasing Descent live tomorrow night at 9 p.m, where we'll be actually talking about the news. Tuesday, anything on Tuesday? Do we have anything planned for Tuesday?
Not to my knowledge.
No, and we are going to pre-record Wednesday's episode
Yeah, because you're getting off.
because I'm out in the evening. But we are going to do the episode. We're just going to put it out. So I'm going to go out Tuesday night. I'm going to go to Cineworld on Tuesday night. They have a secret screening, so I don't know what I'm going to see.
Okay.
So I'm going in there. I assume it's going to be the Wes Anderson film Asteroid City. That's what I assume.
What? Asteroid City? What's that about?
I'm not really sure. I've not seen a trailer for it. It's just what I know
look
is
this
that
up. What's it called?
Cineworld also, right? So Cineworld also own Picture House Cinemas, and Picture House are putting this film on as a preview that same night. So I assume the secret screening in Cineworld is just going to be the same film. That's what I would do if I owned a company. But yes, rise tomorrow morning. I will be rising with you all tomorrow morning. I shall try and bring the funny, but without my partner, I'm not sure how well I'm going to do. The yin to my yang will be missing.
I think this is Marcus Pix's theory. This is Marcus Pix's pitch. I think the
What do you mean?
freaking stole it.
What, for Asteroid City?
Yeah.
Give me a rundown. Tell me.
Following a writer on his world-famous fictional play about a grieving father who travelled with his tech-obsessed family to a small rural asteroid city to compete in a stargazing event only to have his worldview disrupted forever. Right. Okay, it's not exactly the same pitch, but did you ever watch that stuff that I sent you? About the Marcus Pix guy?
Some of it.
Yeah, you never watched the Asteroid City one or the. It's fucking freakily like his pitch, which was like 20 years ago, like
Now,
a live action Jetsons.
Marcus Pix.
Yeah,
How do I spell that?
Markuspix.
Yep. And so I'm going to see if they're linked.
Look at him on YouTube. Scarlett Johansson's on it.
Yeah, there's a bunch of people in it. I've also got 2 more of these coming up in July. These films where you go in and
Well, you've no idea what you're watching. That's quite a good idea.
yeah. So I've done them before. I saw. Do you remember the magic film Now You See Me? Saw that.
Yeah, right.
Saw that at one of these. I saw. It's called Le Mans '66 in this country, but it's called like Ford versus Ferrari in America.
Ah, right, yeah.
Saw that at one of these. Saw Molly's Game, which was a true biopic or dramatized biopic about some woman called Molly who ran poker games. Pretty good. I saw The Incredibles 2 on one of these. That was pretty good, obviously. The only other film that I assume it could be, looking at the date, is Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
Oh, right, yeah.
I don't think it will be that. And Ford says, crack me up if your secret screening is Cuties. Well, I went to one that was a film called Love, Simon. I got about 5 minutes into it and I left.
Really? Not bad?
Yeah, that bad. But I don't pay for these because they're a perk for being an unlimited member at Cineworld. So
yeah,
I think this one on Tuesday night is actually open to people to purchase tickets as well as unlimited members, which means it's something they want people to see.
Right. Okay.
So the last time they did that, it was the Dungeons and Dragons flick earlier this year.
Yeah.
So so it could well be Indiana Jones, because they are letting people pay for this one without telling them what it is. Usually, it's only just for the unlimited members. It's an extra free perk, but they're letting people pay. So you don't want people paying for something that they might have already got tickets to. And Asteroid City comes out on Friday. So what's the point in paying for it twice in 1 week?
Yeah.
That's all I'm thinking, because you're going to get a lot of refunds. If that's the case, you're going to get a lot of refunds for the Friday screening for people who have already possibly bought tickets, because this thing happens in every Cineworld all over the country at the same time. So,
okay.
Yeah, you're going to get a lot of refunds. But obviously, I will keep you updated as to what indeed it is. And yes, once again.
Right, sorry. Here, I found it. I found the link. I posted one, but that's not the exact one. Here we are. Atomic City, it's called.
Right. Okay, Atomic City.
I'm posting it in the chat here in case anyone's interested. And I know you might be bored by now, but, if you are interested.
Regardless.
Atomic City.
Regardless, I'm going to watch that video, put it to me on Twitter as well.
Yeah.
Right? I'm going to watch that video, and then even if this is not Asteroid City on Tuesday, I'll go and see it the weekend.
Yeah. So yeah. Okay.
I'll let you know if they're similar. So I'll because I don't pay to go and see films. I pay them like £17 a month, and I can see as many films as I want. And being a man of not very abled body, I have what's called a Cinema Exhibitors Association card that costs me £6 a year, that gets me a free second person every time I go to the cinema. So I pay £17 a month for 2 people, not one.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. There are little extra things you can get if you're disabled. Like I can get a free, if I was to go and see a show, for example, like at the theatre, I can get free second person to come to the theatre.
Mm-hmm.
And stuff like that, and big festivals and stuff like that, music festivals, you can get a free carer. There are ways and means. Even my Merlin pass that I have for the theme parks, I get a free.
I know.
I get a free second.
I took advantage of it. Well, shall we? Shall we? Do
you want to start bringing this down?
Wind this up. Yeah. What do you think?
I think so. I think you could be right. I think that could be true. I think it could be time. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages.
Children of
This
the
is-
night.
Almost a family-friendly show. Not quite, but almost. If you want family-friendly, go over to the second channel, The Real Review.
Yeah.
Um,
And we need
Yeah, go ahead.
actually we need to talk about that. So let's talk about that tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Yeah. Tomorrow.
Good job.
Now thank
I
you.
want to thank.
Sorry, I thought that
wanna
was my
thank,
end.
I just wanted to thank our £2 in chat revenue from the
Thank
Twitch
you.
chat earlier on. Thank you.
Namaste.
And happy Father's Day to anybody who has been celebrating. I got this. Look.
Cool.
And then there is a Grogu on here somewhere. Let me find. Oh, there he is. There he is. Look.
I got a bear dressed as a superhero from my daughter.
Man, Harold, that fucking sucks.
What? All right.
What
Okay.
a way to end the show.
Yeah. Cheers, Harold. You know, end on a high.
Well, I hope it has been good. John, over to you.
Thank you, one and all, for attending this, the Father's Day special of Chasing Descent Live with me, Ben, and him, John. It's been great. For you.
Welcome to my party, we're just getting started. A life is a dream or a nightmare scarring. Hand me a drink cause I think I'm going all in. Get me a shrink who can catch me when I'm falling. Cover up my scars, flip the handlebars. Crashing in my car, wake up in a bar. I'll be a superstar, just on my avatar. This world is so bizarre, empty out the reservoir. Yeah, I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? Sometimes you need to let loose, grab juice, get goose, tattoos, taboos, get screwed. Loosen up, buttercup, all those hate comments will never make you feel enough. We're all adequate graduates, heart full of calluses, but we know calculus. Damn, ain't that fabulous? Can't wait to apply all those mathematicus. But we can't get a job that pays us enough. I'm about to pop off. Fuck you, you're lost. We all know that we never really want a boss. So I'ma do what I want to. Something I can't undo. Yeah, I'ma do what I want to. Something I can't undo. I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think